Well, like I said, we're getting to the 2-year mark. Maybe in the next 3 months or thereabouts, 4 months, 3 months. Yeah, we'll get to the 2 years mark. And well, the president seems to be somebody that hit the ground running with what he wanted to do, right from Eagle Square. He didn't keep anybody in doubt as to the direction he wants to go, especially with restructuring the economy, which we saw all the pains that is going along with it. So the president was very, very clear as to what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. And I think for me, it's a potpourri of mixed bag. You know, while we see that some of the policies resulted to hyperinflation, we're also seeing that some people are also smart to the bank because a lot of opportunities were open for them to make money. So depending on the side that you want to cut in, it's a potpourri. It's a conglomerate of various. I don't know. It's a mixed bag, and everybody have his own share or what to talk about in terms of how it has affected you or not affected you.
Right. I mean, critics say that stewardship must be renewed or must be measured in impact rather than by what you know it's being said. What do you say?
Well, the truth of the matter is, sometimes it's difficult to gauge every aspect of our lives and on a daily basis because apart from what everybody feels today as some of the economic impact that they are feeling with respect to the hyperinflation that some of the policies has created, where we see prices galloping as if there is no tomorrow. People will not really understand what other things are going on within the system, especially those who are not informed in terms of economic and governance matters. So people might not understand really what is going on. So sometimes when the government come out and speak some big grammars talking about FDI, foreign investment, the exchange rates issues, the what they call it, the reserve, the Federal Reserve, and all that, people may not understand. Well, one of the problems we must understand is the fact that year in, year out, there has been some endemic and systemic rot that hitherto a lot of people do not want to touch. Now, let me tell you two things. First, being the fuel subsidy. That discussion has been on the drawing board. I can't remember for how long. Since the time of Babangida. I remember when Babangida was in power. That was in the 80s, and we talked. And there was a debate, an IMF debate, as to removal of fuel subsidy. I'm talking about 1980, 86, 85, 1985 now. Till every other government just seems to play on top of it. But when the president felt that, look, there has to be an end to some of these anomalies. And so right from Eagle Square, he announced it. And of course, we see the backlash. But today, it's like we're all adjusting to it. And we're seeing the forces of demand and supply, thanks to, again, Dangote, who has a refinery in Nigeria. We're now seeing the force of demand and supply playing. Sometimes today, price goes up, tomorrow it comes down and all whatnot. Then we'll talk about the exchange rate regime. Before this time, we've been using our scarce resources to defend the Naira. And yes, we can argue that, yes, we have a lower Naira-dollar equation. But at some point, it has to be end because every year our foreign reserve is depleting. And so Nigeria is not building, is not maintaining, is not having anything to fall back on. So we just go from hand to mouth. But I think, again, this government say, okay, let's put an end to that. Yes, we saw the backlash. We saw how the Naira plummeted and it was like as if heavens were falling down. But as of today, we're seeing that the Naira is trying to play a game that nobody understands. In fact, those who have been holding Naira dollars now are getting scared as to where the Naira is going because it's coming down south. It's no longer the Naira is no longer rising as if there's no tomorrow. So some of these policies will take some time to mature. And again, we're not able to measure other areas. For instance, if you're talking about Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Sports, some other ministries that does not have direct impact on Nigeria. So measuring those things might not just be, I don't think everyday Nigerian on the street may understand what impact that they are playing. Although I'm not satisfied. If you ask me, I'm not satisfied with the pace at which we are going. But I'm sure we are going somewhere. And in no time we'll find some things. We'll find some blue horizon in the sky.
I mean, this administration have said that, all of, or rather, even critics have agreed in some sense. Some economic analysts have said that, rebasing the economy or introducing the subsidy removal or unification of the foreign floating of the naira was a needed measure. But what that has done in turn is to increase tariffs. So I've seen tariff increment for telecommunications. We've seen it not just for telecommunication, but also now with ATMs, about to introduce 100 naira fee for every withdrawal of ATM, whether it's your bank or not. This tariffs and this steps, is it not in any sense making Nigerians even more poorer, as the question of addressing, the question of hunger and widespread poverty? Talk to me. What's your take on that?
That's a very good aspect. That's a very good point you have raised. And for me, I cannot tie in some of these. I cannot reconcile some of the recent systemic increases, especially from government. I mean, directly from government, as to what is really why this should be happening. Like you just mentioned, telecoms are giving a whopping 50% increase on tariff. Where in the world does that happen? Where? Even our, what do you call it, our inflation rate. Yeah, let me put it at the 30s, because after the rebasement, I do not understand how they come crash from 30 to 24. So for me, I think that's superficial. I do not understand how it is, because that does not represent what you find every day in the market. Yes, some inflation, some products are no longer rising, because some must have peaked. Some of the price level must have peaked, but we're still seeing pockets of inflation up and down. But so how you rebase and then you brought it down is what I don't know. But even if you're 30% as inflation year on year or month on month, I don't know how you are awarding an already overpriced service a 50% what they call it increment. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. 50%. I mean, in Nigeria, prices go up as if the country is just. That's how airlines on a full sweep, 100% increment on flight tickets. You go to hotels today. I mean, as at October, December last year, I know the prices we are paying in some very good hotels. Today, they've increased their rates by 100%. I'm talking of hotel rates, occupancy rates. I'm not talking of food and beverages. I'm talking of the hotel rate itself. A lot of hotels have gone up 50%, 100%. And you ask the question, what is underlining? So, at one hand, we are trying to stabilize the economy. At the other hand, we are creating inflationary tendencies in the economy, because some of these increases do not have any economic. Because as far as I'm concerned, yes, telecoms, yes, they've been on one particular price. Telecom is a competitive market, and they should compete. It's not for government to give them to award them rates. They should compete. If you increase your rate and the other man does not increase his rate, then people will leave you and go. I mean, how did we get to pay a cheaper price in telecoms? Was it not when one of the operators came in, Glo to be specific, claiming and said they are going on per second billing? When MTN and Zain, what you call it, Econet, was the players, they said no, they can't do per second billing. It has to be per minute billing. Then it was 15 per minute. Even if you call for, you made a 1 second call, you are charged 15 naira. And then when competition came into it, you saw how the price crashed down drastically. So why are they going out of competition and they're wanting government to give them protection with price increase? Was it government that fixed the original price? No, it was competition that brought it to that level. And then now you want government, you don't go through the back door, and some insensitive government officials, insensitive regulators who do not care about the masses will now award such humongous increase.
All right.
I mean, for me, it's scary. So if government is trying to retool the economy, bring about prosperity, then such increases should not be. You should be thinking of how to get service providers to reduce price, to reduce cost.